This video will show you how to make a photo joiner of a room in Photoshop. So I've opened Photoshop and now I need to go to File, Automate, Photo Merge. I want to choose Collage, and this bit's really important. You need to deselect blend images together. We want to be able to see the separate photos. So now I've told it what I want to make, I need to find my photographs. So I've already saved them in a folder on my desktop called Room, and now I'm going to select them all. I can click and drag across them all. I can click on the top one, put my finger on Shift and click the bottom one. But I need to select them all in one go. Open. And then once I'm happy, I click OK. Now Photoshop is going to do the work. I am not. So it will look quite strange because it will look like someone's using your computer and it's not you. But you need to leave it. You need to avoid touching your keyboard, avoid touching your mouse. Don't give your computer anything else to think about while it's doing this. Depending on your computer, it might take a long time to do this. Depending on your file size, it also might take some time to do this. So it's done something a little bit strange. It's created a photo joiner with most of my images, but it doesn't quite know what to do with this one. So I'm not just going to ignore that one. I am now going to take control of the image and start to manipulate it a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is move that. Now it looks quite complicated, but the good thing about Photoshop is when you click on the image or the particular photograph in your photo joiner, it highlights it on the layers palette. So you need to make sure that the one that you want to move is highlighted. So now I can move that. And I'm going to move it. Now it should live about there. Now I'm thinking to myself, does it add anything, that image? And it doesn't. It actually covers up something that's a bit more interesting. Unless I put it there. Well, maybe I'll live with it. So I've tucked it into it's a place where it kind of works. Let's zoom in a bit and see if we can see it a bit more clearly. Well, I'm going to leave it there for now. So I need to look at the rest of my image and see whether there's photographs that I don't actually need, photographs that don't actually work, and start to move them around. Now, this photograph in the bottom left of my image is annoying a little bit because the color balance and the color of the image altogether is different to everything else. So I'm going to click on that image and I can see where it is. It's at the top of my layers palette. And next to the icon for that layer is a graphic of an eye. If I click that, it hides it. Now I can see that I need it because otherwise I have a silly gap in the bottom left. So I need it, but it's not quite right at the moment. I'm actually going to leave the colour of it because I don't mind that it's different. It shows that it's a separate photo, but I don't feel it's the right size and I don't feel it's in the right place. So when we want to alter something about a layer, we go to Edit, Transform, and in there you can see Scale and Rotate. But I know I want to do something to both. So to save myself time, I'm going to go to Free Transform. And depending on where I put my mouse, so if you see my mouse when I put it near the corner is a curve. However, when I put it here, it's an arrow that will make it bigger or smaller. So depending on where I put my cursor, it does different actions. So I've made that a tiny bit smaller. I'm going to move it there. That works better for me. I feel that I was looking at the, whatever that is, the router, and I feel that's a little bit better. Perhaps it needs to rotate a little bit more. Move it down a bit more. Maybe it's still a bit big actually. So whilst Photoshop can do most of the work on your photo joiner, it is important that then you step in and you adapt it so it looks better, because Photoshop is just doing it based on vague things it recognizes. You can see it in all its detail. So once I'm happy with the transformation I've done to that layer, I need to say yes, which is the tick, or no, which is that symbol that's a bit like a no entry symbol. So, okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to have a look at some of the other photos to see if I need them. So there's an image right in the middle. And I don't think I'm going to keep it because the man's head is too dark. Oh, that's the wrong one. I've lost him now. Where's he gone? I'm going to click on him and it will show me. There he is. Okay, so he's a bit too dark. And also I like what happens above here with the wall and the ceiling. When it's him, it kind of blocks all of that out. So I don't want that layer anymore. So I'm just going to hide it. And then have a look to see if there's anything else. Now I could get rid of that layer. However, I like that it's a slightly different tone. And so it shows that it's another separate image. So I'm going to keep it. If I remove it, I think that's too similar. So it's a question of going through your photos and hiding them and re-revealing them to see whether they add anything or not. This one, the radiator on the right, I like that. I like that the radiator bends around the wall. Without it, it's boring. So I like that. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. So once I've done that, I can go to Layer, Flatten Image, and so it all becomes one. And it will discard my hidden layers, which is good because then that's less memory it needs to use. And now it's one image, and I can file, save as you would normally.